Welcome to episode 82 of DYWTSB. I'm Mort, and as almost always, I've got Queen and Pops with me tonight.
Hi, everyone.
Is this almost always thing going to be a thing now?
For a couple of weeks, yes.
Okay, well, in that case, what's up, world?
He's just changing shit up on us. I don't know what to do.
I was confused.
I know, we have been in and out because, life. But all three of us are here, but we're certainly not alone.
Absolutely not. We have Mr. Colin West from Synergy Wrestling with us this evening.
I mean, you're more alone than you think, honestly. Like, if you think that I'm here to, help this process at all, nah, you guys, this is worse than not having me here. Most people will say, more Colin West somehow equals less good. More Colin, less gooder.
That is just lies. Lies.com, sir.
All right. Well, Queen doesn't know me personally. That's been established.
Well,
but no, it's good to be on with you guys. I've been legit, I am one of those wrestling guys who does listen to wrestling podcasts. So y'all are a lot of fun, and I really appreciate being on.
Appreciate you listening.
Yes, we do.
But, hey, I'll tell you what. If you suck as bad as you're telling us that you are, you might be a new co-host. That's how we got our last one that left.
The one before Queen.
Well, I was just about to say.
Lord. I was like, let's be clear here. If we're talking about Queen, this is, man, we're getting off to a roaring start. This is good.
No, if we replace
Already?
Queen, we lose 12 of our followers, and then we'll be down to me and Mort listening. So.
Sheesh.
Oh, my God. Not even. Well, Colin, buddy, old pal.
Chum.
Oh, Jesus.
Future best friend that you didn't know. Listen, we're so psyched that you're here to talk with us about everything Synergy. We have a lot to discuss, but there might be some people out there, my friend, who don't really know too much about Synergy Wrestling. And for those poor souls, will you please explain a little bit about what Synergy Wrestling has to offer?
Absolutely, sure. Synergy Pro Wrestling, we just celebrated our second birthday. Hooray.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. We're based out of New Jersey. We pride ourselves on being a really high-quality, episodic-style product. Basically, I kind of got into this with my former business partners, and with this mentality that, a lot of times if you want to go to a PG show on the indies, that you can take an 8-year-old to, and they're not going to see something that's going to scar them for life, which is dope. If you want to scar your kids, go to those shows. Trust me, I'm all for it.
Yes.
Look, something's going to mess up your kids. You might as well let it be wrestling. But, there's so many shows around where, oh, this is a PG show and I can take my kids to it. Oh, but this show is dog shit. And we just wanted to prove that, you can run a show like that and not skimp on quality and still book the guys and the girls who are killing it out here, and just let them operate in a little bit more of a storyline-based world. Let them operate with a little more character, a little bit more, a little bit less kill you, a little bit more tell a story. And that is not to dog out anybody that's doing anything different than us. It just is. I said this the other day to somebody, they're like, well, wouldn't you could do the GCW thing? And I'm like, yeah, but they're already doing it, and they're doing it better than everybody. So why would I do it? That would just be dumb on my part. Greg said, Drew at Beyond, why would I try to rip off Beyond? Beyond's here, and they're already going to be better at doing the Beyond thing than I could. So we're just trying to carve out our own path and just kind of bring maybe a Midwestern-y, Southern kind of vibe to the Northeast.
We could use that here in the Northeast, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, there's definitely people up here who are doing it, who are on that frame. I love what AG's doing, bringing the 0-1 brand up to the Northeast. I love that product already. I love what he's doing. And just when you see guys like Anthony Green or Josh Briggs or like that who are bringing that style back around, you know that it's going to work, because if smart people are doing it, then you know you're in the right direction,
Totally.
And I'll never argue with anyone wanting a little bit of Midwest in their East Coast flavor.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I just look at it we're all the same, right? We watch our stuff that's local and we're like, man, this is really good, but Chicago, Chicago's really dope, or oh, St. Louis is amazing, or oh, I wish I could get down to Southern Underground or Black Label or somewhere.
Oh, Black Label. Yeah. I love Black Label.
Like,
yeah.
That's on my list. Like, I mean, I run a company, and I am fortunate to run a company in a super, super good market with so many good promotions in it. But and I'm still here, and I'm like, but Limitless though, but Limitless, but PWT, but Wrestling Has It Tomorrow. Like, there's everything up there. Like, even Buffalo stuff is really sick right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you always want to. It's hard not to look at other markets, like where you guys are based, like, and where like up in New England or out in the Midwest or anywhere, and just be like, man, but I wish I was there for a second.
Yeah. I totally understand that for sure.
That leads to my question. What is your role in Synergy?
I run the place, for better or for worse. I mean, I was a co-owner, and I was in charge of creative up until about April of this year. We had an original kind of pilot run with my original co-owners that it was like, hey, let's do 10 shows and see where we are and see how we're going. And it was never a beef. There was never any kind of drama. It was just they were always going to do 10 shows and then move on. That was kind of their thing. And just I was in a position where I wasn't really ready for it to go away yet. So I am the owner, and I run creative, but I'm definitely creative by committee. I have a couple of people that I really trust. And so I don't ever want anybody to believe I'm out here doing this by myself. Like, everybody that does anything that's decent does it with a good team. So
it's good to hear. And I'm gonna follow up, since my questions kind of a one-two punch. I'll quickly follow up with what inspired you to start a wrestling company.
I mean, I'm real self-centered. I'm really vain and arrogant. I'm arrogant enough to think that my ideas are the best ideas.
Yes,
no, it's I mean, I did a couple of charity shows down here. I never really thought that running my own promotion would be a thing. It was not supposed to be a thing necessarily. But like I said, I just kind of came in as the guy who ran creative for this brand for 10 shows, and then I just really kind of fell in love with it. And I never assumed that at some point this big plan would be, oh, and I'll just take it over and then I'll own it and wah-ha-ha-ha-ha. You know, it just kind of, that's the way it fell together, and all credit to the people that I worked with and people that I booked for putting on the kinds of shows that made me not want to stop.
Very cool.
How many shows are you running per year?
It's funny, we're about to jump up. We are going to have Black Friday's our 14th live event over the first 2 years. The Warhorse Christmas show, the Warhorse's Big Bad Bitchin' Christmas Party, is 15 in December, and then we're going to run a minimum of 10 shows next year. So we are definitely jumping up the slate a little bit. It might be 11. We might be working on some kind of WrestleMania week show in New Jersey with a couple other promotions, but that's to be determined. So minimum of 10. I would, wink, nudge, I am hopefully talking to a promotion up your way about doing a crossover show next summer.
My way?
Whose way?
What?
Whose way?
Well, see, that would kind of tip my hand, right?
Oh, shit.
My hand.
Oh,
it would kind
shoot.
of tip. It would kind of tip my hand, Queen, if I mentioned that maybe I was trying to come up your way and do a crossover show with a promotion up that way in June or so, and we'll see if that happens. I hope
Great. I'll be there.
I mean, I we'll put it this way. Wink, nudge. You'd be there anyway.
Oh,
I think.
that sounds pretty spicy.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, you sip that claw.
I will,
Isn't
honey.
truly? I'm sorry.
I'm sipping my tea right
Okay.
now.
Oh.
Am I the only one that does not have this man on camera right now?
No.
Oh no, I'm not on camera.
Okay.
I'm not on camera at all. Trust me. I'm
All
sitting
right.
here looking like the oldest homeless man right now.
Oh,
like
Lord.
with the like the brace on the arm, and then
Love it.
then like the hand in the sling, and then the multi XL shirt on a very, very tiny person, and sweats, and I'm just looking a mess right now. Also, I have a desktop, so there that is.
Wow. You're living your best life minus the broken
I
leg.
am living somebody's best life in 1997. Yeah.
So, because you guys just turned 2,
Mhm.
which is awesome,
Thank you.
now that you've been doing this for these 2 years, what would you say, like, has been the biggest shift and change for you in the business? Personally and obviously professionally within your company, but also, like, on the indie scene itself.
You know what's really interesting? Like, on the indie scene myself, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it was kind of the thought that there weren't quote unquote indie stars. There were guys and girls who were really, really gifted, who were around and worked a bunch of shows.
Mhm.
And, I'm from Jersey, so I got to watch the Janela thing happen, like
Yeah.
right in front of my face. And knowing Joey, not personally, but just like here and there at shows, and just watching this dude just go from a great worker to a guy who just all at once he just got it. And then the spring break shows happen. And then because GCW blew up around Joey, Nick Gage happened.
Right.
And I mean, Nick Gage was always a cult icon, like a legitimate icon. But he became kind of a national thing, and MDK became a national thing. Mm-hmm. And then other guys started blowing up, and now you have, where it was just like somebody said a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, you can't put Joey Janela's Spring Break on Mania Week. One guy's name can't sell a show. And now Joey Ryan has a show. Effie has a show.
That's right.
Warhorse and Danhausen have a show next year. It's just kind of the return of the individual, which I got to be real. Other promoters will not like me saying this, and I don't care. That's fucking great. That's great, because promoters don't drive the indies. Wrestlers drive the indies.
Right.
And I think for a while, promoters kind of, we got this idea that we were somehow in charge and had more power than we had, and blah, 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 blah. And there were a lot of people that just kind of, I don't know, were unfair to talent for a long time. And I think that because of guys like Joe, and because of guys like Warhorse, and just all these people who have kind of made their own name by their own way. Ace Austin, another really good example. That it's now a situation where these guys can take their lives back, and these girls can take their lives back, and they can demand a rate that's fair, and they can say, hey, I need my transportation covered, and no, I'm not going to drive from St. Louis to New York City and lose money, because that's not fair to me. The other thing that's really cool is right now, just I think in terms of the whole business, women are driving the business way more than men are. They really are, and it's so good, because it's so long overdue that we don't treat women as stars based on how they look in a two-piece. Like, can you go? And yeah, they can go. Like, and the indie scene, like, everybody assumed that, NXT was going to just raid the indies, and then women's wrestling on the indies was going to be dead, and blah, 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 blah. But here's Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And here's Mercedes Martinez, and here's Layla Hirsch, and here's the Platinum Honeys, and here's, all these people who can legitimately work, and it's just showing people how deep it is right now in women's wrestling, and I think that's for the best.
Yeah, I mean, just Chris Statlander alone has had the wildest 2019, and it's such a cool thing to see on the indie scene, and going to all these indie shows and watching the shift, but going to them for a while, and then you see what it's like in 2019. It's crazy from a fan perspective, let alone what, you're doing.
Oh, completely. And I mean, it was hard, because I come from a place where I was and am still in some places a commentator and a manager and kind of that side of things first. And I would work for companies that legitimately would say to me that there was no place for women on their show, not because they were misogynists or whatever, but because they had this old school antiquated mentality that like women charge more for the same work and they're not as good. And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe I don't know where you're getting this. I think it's an old played out, and I don't necessarily think it was ever the case because I can't go back to an era where there weren't good women workers.
Right.
I just think that it's very easy it's a very easy excuse, you know, for people to point and say, oh, well, they're just gonna show up in something skimpy and half-ass it, and they don't have to. And like, no. These women will fuck you up today.
Yes,
like
they
they are
will.
good. These women are good, and I will say that for the most part, the boys have never been the issue. Like these guys are out here, the best guys, the best men's wrestlers in indie wrestling. They want to work the girls, they want to work the women, and because they know they don't need to carry them because women are generally trying harder because there's more of a mountain to climb. There's more of kind of a sexist kind of viewpoint to climb. I have no doubt every women's match, every intergender match that I've ever booked, I've been super glad that I did because it's come off really well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Women.
Woo! Ladies. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see for me too, you know, as a woman, obviously. I just, you know, it's something that I appreciate so much, and I want to see more on a larger scale. And, you know, 2019 was great for that, and I know 2020 is going to deliver the same thing. You know, we demand these things to happen. They'll come because the girls want to make it happen.
For sure, and it's not a blank demand. Like, it's earned.
Right.
It's earned.
It is, for sure.
Right, and I can piggyback off that, too, and just saying, as the dad of a little girl, I can show her women's wrestling now and be proud to show her that, you know?
Oh, my, right? Like, you couldn't, I mean, what could you, and there were good women in this era, but really, I mean, are you going to show your 6-year-old daughter a lingerie pillow fight and be like, you can be proud of wrestling?
No.
You
I
can
mean,
be
like,
proud of how women, you can be proud of how women are treated by men in power in this business. No. But now, absolutely. And
Yeah,
it's just, and because during that era, even while those matches were going on, you had Jazz and Molly Holly and Ivory and Victoria and those women who were like, you know what? No, we're not doing this. And
That's right.
the business is better for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had Jazz in January, and we did
So cool.
Jazz versus Maria Manic, and it was one of the dopest things that I've ever done. Just because they went in so hard, and Jazz is of a certain age bracket that is, you know, not her 20s, and
Right.
crushed it, and put so many workers to shame of any gender and any age just because of how damn good she is, you know. And Maria getting that ROH deal, it's a good time to like women's wrestling right now.
I totally agree. So the other thing that I wanted to ask you was about your upcoming, well, you know what? Yeah, your upcoming January 2020 Cruiserweight.
Yay!
Now, listen.
No one's asked me about this yet.
Oh.
I'm super excited.
I'm so glad because we have to have a conversation about this crown, okay?
Okay.
So as the queen,
Yes.
you know that I'm seeing these things that you're tagging me in, right? And I'm like, excuse me, there's a crown? What is
Well,
happening?
that is why I tagged you, because I'm like, hey, this is here. You will be happy to know, by the way, that crown is not gender specific.
Yes, honey.
The
I knew it.
cruiserweight division is a weight class, and if you fall into that weight class, which is 200 and under, you can win it. You can win it as long as you're a cruiserweight. You can win it. As far as I'm concerned, we had Tara Calloway wrestle for our Synergy Championship. You can win that too. You can win that too. The only thing that sets the cruiserweight crown apart is that it's a specific weight class. And we are going to start with, I believe, we're going to put 12 cruiserweights on that show in 3 fatal 4-ways. We're still working out the kinks on who, The list is short and the list is good. It's very good. I'm very excited about a lot of the people that we have brought in and are going to be debuting. A lot of people we have not used yet. And then the first ever Cruiserweight Crown winner will get the opportunity to win that in March For the Crown. And we go from there. But we're going to treat it like a crown. Like, you're going to have to be noble about this. Like, if you hold the crown and you are disqualified, you lose it. You're not worthy of being noble.
Oh, there's stakes.
Yeah, you know what? You want to wear a crown, you got to act like royalty. You want to run around, get DQ'd, get intentionally counted out, you'll lose it.
Wow. Okay.
That sounds super interesting.
Yeah, we're just trying to. I mean, you know what? Because let's be real, nobody wants to. No, I mean, who's really? How many shows a year do I have? 10. I'm not gonna have somebody waste a title match on a DQ, or maybe once a year something, but like not. We're not making a habit out of it, and I don't want the roster to make a habit out of it. So towing that line as carefully as I can. Don't get DQ'd. You will lose the crown. You will lose it.
Oh, I'm like really excited because when you posted that and that came out, I was like, I need to know everything about it. Like, how do you get it? Like, what are we doing? Where can I buy one? Like,
right now, the plan is to do either 3 fatal 4-ways or 3 triple threats. We're gonna just whatever makes the best matches. Like, we're not going to overload to 12 if we're just throwing in But if we have 12 legitimate people who we could be proud of wearing that crown first, we'll do 3 triple threats in January, and then we'll do 3 fatal 4-ways, and then a 3-person triple threat final for the crown on the March live event.
Well, I'm excited.
I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm the first person, I think, who has ever purchased a wrestling championship off Etsy. And
yes.
That was a woman in Russia who custom makes those, and she is tremendous. That was worth every penny of the ship. It's just the most beautiful thing. It's sitting in my house right now. I'm like, maybe I'll just fold the company and wear it around. Like, just be like, what is this crown with this hard to pronounce word on the front of it? I'm like, oh, that's what I named my company so that nobody could find it on social media because I think about these things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm gonna need that person's Etsy.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I'll shoot me a DM. I'll make sure I'll fire it in there. There's multiple times they do crowns, they do scepters. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I think I just created a new gimmick for myself.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's that, and we got like the all blue crystal is custom. Like those are like Queen. You'll get this. Those are Swarovskis.
Yes, boo.
But you can. She will do them. She'll do them in any color you want. It's ridiculous. And that engraving on the front, that she'll engrave whatever you want on the front. You want to put Queen of any. You want to put whatever you want on there. Oh man. I'll put her over like crazy. She came through even bigger than I thought she was.
It's beautiful.
The crown is gorgeous. I'm thrilled with it, and it's just different. It's something different.
Oh my god. So dope. Sorry, I'm like geeking out. I love beautiful shiny things, so I'm into it.
If you come on the show and you're wearing a crown, we're gonna have some conversation. But
you'll love it. And shove it.
Yeah, whatever. So, Colin, let me ask about Black Friday. What do you got going on Black Friday?
Sure. So Black Friday is our basically by accident last year Black Saturday kind of became a turning point show for us. We had a huge show slated with a main event of KTB versus Abyss and just a lot of stuff going on. Matt Tremont versus Anthony Green was slated for the main event. And Matt Tremont had a person very close to him go through a very serious medical emergency that day. And not trying to be what Abyss's mother fell down a flight of stairs at 1:00 the morning of the show.
Oh, jeez.
And it was terrible. It was legitimately terrible. And it put me in a situation where I'm like, I'm the biggest a-hole in the world if I make either one of these people come to this show. I can't do it. But it also kind of was like, all right, let's see how creative we can be here. Let's see what we can actually come up with at the last minute. And we ended up having a really good show with our 2018 match of the year on it and got a lot of return fans out of it. And so I kind of looked at it and I'm like, this should be an annual thing here. Black Friday should kind of be the culmination of a year's worth of storytelling and a year's worth of feuds and rivalries. So we have built to here very consciously. And this is, I mean, in terms of storyline, because the Garden State Invitational that we did in July and we'll do next July is a one-off tournament. But in terms of story, this is the biggest thing we've ever attempted to do. And I'm really proud of the card we've put together.
It's going to be so exciting. And it's going to be on Fight, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be on Fight TV.
Fabulous.
And then within a couple of weeks, it will be up on independentwrestling.tv.
Oh, man. Colin, this is going to be an exciting show. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm obviously going to be watching, of course. And we're going to tell all of our listeners to be watching.
Yeah, well, this is what I ask people. Like, I'm always curious as to what people who are interested in the show are most interested in, because I get the perspective of people who are here, you know, and they're in the building and they're at the Polish Falcons every event and what their live response is. But who are you, even just like individuals on the show or specific matches? Like what is popping you? Like, what are you excited about? Is there one thing in particular, two things that you really, really like?
I love the Bad Apple. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I just love him.
Why is he not everywhere?
Why is he not everywhere? He's like a great kept secret.
He is an unbelievably well-kept secret.
It's crazy, right?
It is. I mean, I am so, you know, like him or not, or think that he's a cheater or whatever. I could not be prouder of Matt McIntosh representing our company as our champion. He is a consummate pro, and whether you like how he's done it or not, he has held that title since April, and he's held it well.
Very well. I like him a lot, and I know you're going to have Anthony Gangone. I know you're going to have Matt Tremont, of course. That's a chain match, right? Something like that.
That is a chain match,
Good
and
God.
honestly, so I said to him, I said, you know, I said to Tremont, you know, what do you mean by a chain match? Do you mean like you could attach it to each other's necks like a dog collar, or like to each other's wrists, or that you could just beat each other with chains? And he said, yes. So
that's right.
That is basically where that's where we stand on it, because that's the first real major angle we pulled at the beginning of this year. Mike Dell taking out Tremont in a championship match from under a mask that belonged to Matt McIntosh, and kind of just running with that mystery, like who screwed Tremont. And Dell put himself out there, and this has been building for quite some time. Dell won the last match. That was way back in May, and Tremont's been waiting on his spot. And it is, in 15 days now, 15 days.
It's coming soon, and I'm so excited. There's going to be some great matches on the show. I hope everybody listening right now is going to tune into this. I know we all will, of course, but dude, you're so cool, and it's such an honor for us to have you on the show, and like, we've had such a great time talking with you. Can you let everybody know where they can find all your socials for Synergy, of course, and then your big shows? Tell them one more time where you're going to be at.
Well, it's the big show. Anyway, any more of that, I get sued. Sorry, I promised myself I would only let the Percocet slip in for like 8 seconds, but here we are.
Good work.
So you can find us at Synergy Wrestling, SYNERGY Wrestling.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Synergy Wrestle. Our next show is Black Friday, live streaming on Fight TV from Hillsborough, New Jersey. You can go to Fight TV and order that for $9.99, Or if you want to go to synergywrestling.com or our Facebook event page for Black Friday, you can order pre-sale discount tickets there. The next show after that is Saturday, December 28th, live on IWTV, is Warhorse's Big Bad Bitchin' Christmas Party, which we are putting together and is going to be more fun than I can possibly tell you. Warhorse has a lot to do with putting the card together. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Black Friday first, but we got a lot of fun things going on. And if you just want to reach out to me, Colin West on Facebook or at Synergy Wrestle on Twitter, I am happy to talk to anybody, anytime, unless I'm not on, in which case, not then.
And I'll get back to you as soon as he can. He's the one Colin's the one that reached out to us to be on the show, and it's been really nice getting to know you, Colin, and talking to you on Twitter.
Yeah, thank you so much. And honestly, I tell people all the time, you got to support your wrestling podcast the way they support you. You have to, because otherwise, it's the best marketing in town. I don't know why people don't treat podcasts better in general, and why people aren't lining up to talk to you, because it's the difference between somebody who has never heard of you finding out about you or not. And why would you not want that? And just the opportunity to talk to three people who actually care about what I'm doing is unbelievable. And that's never going to get old for me. And I really appreciate it.
Well, we wish more people were like you, pal.
Oh, you say that now.
Oh,
you say
stop.
that now, but you'll learn. They all learn.
More Colin West all the time.
Yes.
All right. I'm all for it. Oh, man. But thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Yeah, and we appreciate you coming on, sir. And we definitely will be in touch. And I'm about 2 seconds away from pre-ordering that Black Friday pay-per-view on Fight. So
that means, honestly, that means more to me than you know. Thank you very much.
I already did it.
And you will not be let down. My crew comes to play. So
yeah, they do.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
First, we've got the highs for AEW Full Gear.
Oh my gosh. Well, the highs for Full Gear. Is anyone going to be surprised? Probably not. Kenny versus Mox, lights out match. GCW, CZW, I don't know what the fuck was going on. I lost my mind 25 times. I cannot believe what we're seeing in 2019 as we, Pops and I on Combos with Pops this week, dropped on Tuesday if you haven't heard it. But if you have, you know that I just kept saying 2019 is wild. And this is why. Just fuckery in the best way possible.
But
I loved everything about it.
It was the good kind of fuckery.
It was a great kind of fuckery. I loved that. And fuck, the match with Riho and Emmy was another high. Beautiful wrestling on display from them. It's something you see in Japan all the time, but you don't get to see here. It was beautifully executed, even in the short bill that they had, which really was non-existent. But they were able to put on a thing. And that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, I could watch that GIF on repeat. So good. It was you couldn't get any better than that. Yeah, Young Bucks LEX, it was dope. Shit. I'll stop because I'll talk about the whole show. So that's good for now.
My highs were, again, Mox and Kenny Omega. Loved it because I'm a sick bastard. And I know a lot of people complained about the match for various reasons. Do we need to see this all the time? No, we don't. Like I said on Twitter, give me a lights out match couple times a year when the storyline makes sense, and I'd be happy. But it's definitely something you wouldn't want to overdo at all. I enjoyed Adam Page and Pac, and I also enjoyed Emi Sakura and Riho, because even though there was a non-existent build, it was the match delivered, and it was great. I thought.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing too that they were saying, AEW backstage, they were talking about it. The type of match that we saw between Kenny and Moxley is not something that's going to happen.
Right.
Like, it's going to be such a rare thing, if at all. It won't be anytime soon that we'll see anything like that, which I think is great. That's how it should be.
Right.
Yeah. So to your point, great call. Pops.
Well, I know this might surprise some people because I've been kind of on AEW a little bit here lately, but the whole fucking show, man. Like, I'm going to go top to bottom. Even the stupid triple threat tag team match that I didn't want to see, I fucking loved. Like, I call it stupid because I loved it. Fuckers. You know? But, you know, honestly, I mean, I'm not as high on the whole Kenny and Moxley thing as everybody else is. The story they told was amazing. I'm not going to take anything away from them. It's just like, they could have legitimately taken themselves out of action for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if right now, in the infancy of the company, that would have been a great idea. You know, and the shit they were doing, it was, I mean, how can you control that? Mm-hmm. You know? And, I mean, a fucking bed.
Of barbed wire. What the fuck?
Wire. Like, what the we'll get into that when we get to AEW, because I got some things I want to talk about that. But, you know, but was it amazing? Fuck yeah. Was Cody versus Jericho amazing? Hell yeah.
Yep.
Even though he face planted, fucked himself up. Shit happens, right? It's not ballerina or ballet. You know what?
It's not ballet.
But I'm not even going to say that because some ballerinas, they freaking kill themselves and fuck up their feet. So that's not even a good shit. But I'm just saying, this ain't Tonka trucks and Little Tykes Play School toys here. This is real man shit, and they get into some real man shit. And I became a fan of the Hangman on Saturday night.
You got your cowboy shit.
Yeah, you know, damn, right? I mean, damn. You know, I wasn't sure about him, and then I was like, I couldn't stop watching it. Like I was like, he drew me in. So, but my highlight of the whole night was MJF turning true heel. Even though I would have liked it to be for stakes, because now what are they going to fight for? You know, but at the end of the day, what does it matter, right? It was fucking beautiful.
That Cody Jericho match was something. I was shocked, you know, because I was really nervous. I didn't want to see a 60-minute match with Jericho and Cody. I just didn't. And I was like, and it ended up being perfect. It was barely seconds under a half an hour end to end. And the story that was told and the way that they moved with one another, and even Cody getting busted open and, like, you know, getting hurt and finishing with the freaking rib cracks and all this crazy shit. It told such a beautiful championship story that's what you want. It just was perfect in every way that it could be. You know, it was the best that it possibly could be, I think. Even though he got hurt, I think it made it even more impactful, I think. So I totally agree with you. It was awesome.
I have a question for you guys about Cody. Now that he's apparently never going to challenge for the title.
They confirmed that.
Do we see him step back, do a little bit, focus more on the EVP part of it, and he's more of an attraction like a Triple H is? You only see him a couple of times a year when it's necessary. I mean,
here's my thought.
Or do we see an introduction of a secondary title?
They came out and said that they will not be doing a mid-card title anytime soon. Nick Jackson did a whole tweet thread and confirmed that Cody will not challenge. You can't go back on the stipulation. That's it. He said it. It's over. And he also said that they will not be introducing any belts anytime soon. So they're good for now. I think it's time. It's a good thing. I think they need to focus on what they have and start building some people and then introduce something new. So I loved that. But I think for Cody, what would make a nice spot for him, like obviously we had something else that happens on Wednesday's show that kind of shows what's coming for Cody. But I think it would be really cool for Cody to be the gatekeeper to the title. Like, I'd like him to be in that spot. Like, in order to get to the upper echelon, to challenge for the title, to be those 3 or 4 guys that are up here.
You have to be Cody.
You have to be Cody. You have to go through it. And if you can't go through him,
no title
then you don't deserve to be there, right? And that's a great spot for him to be in because he can work his style and do his thing while still taking a step back and allowing himself to do more of the EVP side and building that sort of thing. I don't know if it's going to go full Triple H. He's definitely going to wrestle still. He's got a lot left in the tank. I just think that, you know, as it's building, he can step back enough where he can still be seen because he's he's very over. People love him. So that needs to still stay, but I think he can do both roles better, not in a title picture on the top. That's just my thought.
And here's where I dump on the Cody and Jericho match a little bit, because yes, MJF threw in the towel, but in a way, isn't that kind of a wonky finish? I know we've seen it in the past where people have thrown in the towel as the person's corner man, but we would shit on WWE all day, every day for a wonky ass finish, and to me that this deserves at least some talk as to being a kind of wonky finish, because Cody didn't tap, MJF threw in the title and then kicked him in the nuts.
If I may, Queen, I know, like, I can see it in your face, you're ready. But if I may, I would shit all over that finish in WWE, you're right. Because in WWE, it would have been for nothing. It would have just been a finish to finish. It would have been a wonky-ass finish to have a wonky-ass finish. This finish literally had his best friend, quote-unquote, cost him ever being able to be in the title picture, ever. And not only that, then he fucking turned on him on the same fucking night. I mean, the towel created the narrative. Mm-hmm. So you needed the towel.
Oh, I get that, but I'm just not going to let them off, because if it was the other company that we cover, we would dump all over it. So, and I promised a fight on Twitter. So here's the start of the fight.
Okay, but here's the thing. This is going to be the start of something new. So,
sorry.
We would shit on it. I'm going to say this again. If WWE did it, it would be a Hell in a Cell finish with a towel, right? Mm-hmm. It would just be a finish to finish.
Yeah, to not hurt either guy.
Right. This literally hurt one guy, but set him up for a next program. Mm-hmm. And it didn't just hurt him for one match. It hurt him for the fucking rest of his career, supposedly. You know, you can always go back on a stipulation at some point. Right. You know, but it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen in 2020. Mm-hmm. I don't even think it's going to happen till maybe 2022 if he's still around and something major comes up. You know, like, it's going to have to be something major for them to change. Mm-hmm. It's not like WWE. You're like, you can never fucking challenge for the title again January, but February you're in the title match. Like, they're not going to do that shit. And that's the one thing that I think we all can appreciate about them. So, you know, I
hope you're right.
Queen takeover.
I hope you're right with that, Pops, and I hope they're not pulling a quote unquote WWE hashtag WWE fuckery move for the sake of screwing with the finish.
I don't think they are.
Nor do I. But again, I promised a fight on today's episode, so we're gonna fight.
Oh, we'll fight, but let's just
round one.
But you know what I mean, though. Like here's the okay. This is what ends the fight. This isn't even a good fight. Okay, this isn't what puts this isn't what
this is just the fucking start of the fight. Goddamn it!
But this is not what's going to turn you into Kenny and Drag. Okay, this is what people are going to be like.
Again, I do this shit on fucking Halloween.
Pops is defending AEW. Pops is defending a Cody Rhodes booking decision. What?
Shocking! I'm shocked right now. I'm shocked.
Did they finally finally,
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got a little rusty.
legalized pot in Wisconsin, and he's higher than the kite. Like, or what's going on here? No, I'm just saying, like, WWE fuckery is 12 months out of the year. This was, it could be, I can see where you're coming from, that it's a little bit of fuckery. But it's not fuckery for the sake of fuckery. It's fuckery for the sake of a fucking storyline, which we see on Wednesday that they actually know what continuity is because they have a continuity manager in AEW. I'm going to rest my case, and if Queen has something she would like to interject on that, I'm sorry that you picked a fight that you were never going to win. So
again, this is just round one of the goddamn fight.
Okay, we'll pick another one. We can go 10 rounds if you want. Okay.
Guys, this is so weird. Normally I'm fighting. This is so great. Okay, so here's the thing. When I first saw this towel thing, I was like, nope, 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 MJF, get out. And for me, it was because, oh my God, like, if I'm Cody and I'm in this match and they got me in the lion tamer move and, like, what am I going to do? And blah, 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 right? And then my fucking best friend throws in the towel for me, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to tear heads off. I don't care if you're my best friend or not. I will pop you. Because this is something different, right? And I was like, God damn it. It would have been cool to see him lose on his own merit. That I understand. However, I argued myself into the opposite point of view. Because that's the story. I just wish Cody was madder at MJF.
Right.
Before the
nut shot.
It's not even a heel turn. He just came out as himself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's what I wish I saw. Because he was like looking at him like, no. Push that motherfucker. Kick him while he's on his knees. And then let him turn on your ass. Right? Because then it proves everything that MJF says Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Right?
And all I can say
is... It gives more credence to what's going on. Like, obviously, MJ was spitting stuff and saying things, and I think they're going to reveal some more stuff that was happening behind the scenes. We'll get to that when we talk about Wednesday. But I think it would have given a little more oomph to the moment. So at first I was like, no, thank you. But then I remembered the towel thing is a throwback to New Japan with Bullet Club and Kenny and Cody. The whole throwing in the towel thing calls back to that. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, now I like it a little bit better. And then Wednesday happened, and I was like, fuck it. I'm in. Okay, let's go. Not that I wasn't in the first place. I was. I just was a little disappointed. So I was like, if your career's on the line, you should go out because I pass out. Mm-hmm. But that backs up the whole story of why the towel happened in the first place, right? So it works. It works with what they're doing, and you're totally right. If fucking Xavier Woods threw in the towel for Kofi Kingston, I'd be losing my mind. But it would be for nothing.
And
unless Xavier turned. You know what I'm saying? Unless there was a purpose.
Right. And the last thing I'll say on Full Gear is thank fucking God it didn't go to goddamn judges.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't. They made the right choice with
because
that. I love that stuff. Judges were dope.
Because then there's there would be no fucking question. Everybody would be fucking pissed at the hashtag AEW fuckery.
Yeah, that would be stupid. But they didn't do it. I'm glad they didn't. But hey, it's there for a future match, and I like that.
How about the highs for Monday Night Raw?
None.
I don't even remember watching Monday Night Raw, and I know I watched 3 hours of Raw.
I watched one and change because then a segment came on, and I promptly turned it the fuck off. I can't go from Full Gear to that. Mm-hmm. And there was shit in Full Gear that I didn't really like either, by the way. And, like, I still loved it 10 times million more than I turned on Monday, and I was like, nope, I'm set. I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it, especially after that segment. Nope.
I have a question. I'm on the same wavelength as Queen. So if you have a high, let's go there, and then I'm going to bring up my question, if that's okay, Mort.
My high was Seth Rollins and Walter, even though we didn't get a finish to that match. I would have preferred a fucking finish to Rollins and Walter, but unfortunately Rollins is currently Vince's guy, so he's not going to let Triple H's UK guy beat his guy clean. So we got a fucking screwy tag match. Other than that, I also enjoyed Andrade and Alexander.
You did?
A little bit.
Well, I mean...
Mainly because I like Andrade, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Look, let's tie in the new family members over all this beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, Seth and Walter was like a well done. It wasn't very good. There was no sizzle, right? Could have been because they're both
because they set it up to be a fucking screwy tag team.
Which is like, then why not just do the screwy tag team match right away? Look, I can't shit on a match that I don't remember. So if you enjoyed Andrade versus whoever, Alexander, cool. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything from Monday Night Raw other than I do remember one thing. Sitting there thinking, Lana is fucking around on Rusev with Bobby. So why the fuck are Bobby and Lana so pissed off? And why isn't Rusev more pissed off? Like, I'm just like, that's confusing to me. Like, the two cheaters are more mad at the guy that's getting cheated on than the guy that's getting cheated on is mad. Mind blown. I don't get it. So I'm over that. Kind of make me regurgitate, my dinner. But yeah, fuck it. Can we talk about something cool? You'll thank me for this someday.
Well, I just want to say I legitimately turned off Monday Night Raw after the Lana bullshit. So the other matches after that I didn't see.
Fortunately, it was close to the end of the show, which is unfortunate.
Right.
But I stopped as well. I literally, she started opening her mouth and said this stuff, and I was like, nope, 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 I won't do it. This just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I don't. What the fuck are you doing, WWE? Like, for real. What are you doing with this?
Well,
nobody likes this. Nobody wants to see it. You have to imagine what these people are going through on the inside, having to do this on television. And if you're not going through something, then something's fucking wrong with you.
But that's the thing. It's a collaborative effort. There's all three of them are in that. Yeah. Rusev came out and said that Lana is really the only one that isn't 100% comfortable with the whole situation.
Well, then fuck them then.
Right.
Like,
let's just make her more uncomfortable by forcing her to do this angle because it's funny. Really? Fucking funny for who?
Vince fucking McMahon.
Well, fuck you, dude, because that's stupid. Get it fucking together. We're in 2019. Look at the fucking women everywhere. I don't want to see this shit.
Here's the problem. Good or bad, they don't care as long as people are talking about it. I think if everybody would just stop talking about it and tweeting about it, they would just be like, be done with it. One would hope. But it's so bad, you have to bitch about it because it's disgusting.
It's disrespectful. It's disgusting. And it's vile. It's got to go. It's got to go.
Right.
It's making me not want to watch. I want to be in for Survivor Series. I do not want to have to turn off my television every time I see something stupid like this come on.
For all of their talk about how look at all of the good things we do for women's wrestling, they give us this horse shit, which dumps a whole bunch of cow shit on the women's division.
No,
I get
not at all.
And I get Lana is not a legitimate in-ring competitor, but there are people, are women and little girls that look up to Lana partially because of Total Divas or Total Divas or whatever. Don't put her in a situation where her fans are going to cry, bitch, and complain about a fucked up marriage and put her fans through that.
First of all, I agree. Okay? What I don't agree with is that it dumps shit on the entire division. Because this isn't Charlotte Flair, okay? That's in the middle of this. To me, what dumped shit on the whole division itself was the whole Becky and Seth fucking they're in a relationship bullshit. We got to tell everybody every 5 seconds. Because then it almost made it look like Becky got there because Seth got there, and they tried to flip it and tell everybody that Seth's there because Becky's there. That to me was convoluted.
Yep.
It was just fucking stupid. This is a really shitty storyline that involves with a person, if they wasn't involved in the storyline, would be sitting at home collecting a check. So I don't even consider her part of the women's division just because she had 3 matches and somehow got a title match out of one of them. Like, I'm sorry. And if people, I'm sure she's a very nice woman, but I watch Total Divas, and if your daughter's looking up to her, I don't know. I mean, you might want to talk to your daughter about that, but I just don't see it dumping. To me, it dumps more shit on the entire product than it does the women's division. So that's where I kind of took a little bit of exception to what you said. So,
but that's the thing. You if she wasn't in this storyline, she'd be sitting at home collecting a paycheck. Why is it this horseshit of a storyline that they have to fucking bring her in for?
Well, here's the other sad thing. If Bobby and Rusev weren't a part of this storyline, they'd both be sitting at home collecting a check too. So that's where you get like the thing is I want them to have a legit match and then have it be over with. Okay, because they keep writing themselves into a corner that they can't write themselves out of. Like,
they do that a lot.
I left you because you're a sex addict, but I'm having sex with Bobby Lashley
all the fucking time.
This is your baby, but I've been having sex with Bobby Lashley. Like they're mad, but Rusev's not. Like, the whole story arc doesn't make any fucking sense.
This isn't even college level writing; it's high school writing at best.
Yeah. So I think let's table that because it's fucking horse shit. It's already got more time than we deserve to give it. So, gross.
Do you guys have any other lows for Raw, other than the fact that you guys don't remember shit?
It's not that I don't remember; it's that I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing else to say.
Yeah. I legit don't remember it, which sucks because you're going into a hot pay-per-view that they're trying to call Survivor Series, but it's not. It's actually fucking Night of Champions, but we'll fucking talk about that when we get closer to it.
Hey everyone, it's your girl, the Queen of NE, and I'm so excited to tell you about my show, Queen's Court. It's an awesome, fun, super interactive podcast led by yours truly, bringing you some awesome interviews, some great collabs, and just enjoying discussing our beloved sport of wrestling. You can find me on Twitter at The Queen of NE, on Instagram at XTheQueenofNE, and of course my podcast, Queen's Court, on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are out. I encourage you to come take a listen to something new, something fresh, and something that you can only have when you hold court with the Queen.
How about the highs for AEW Dynamite?
Oh, jeez.
Well, the return of Luchasaurus was amazing because that was unexpected and early.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting. We are getting Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley next week's episode. That was announced because Darby accepted Moxley's challenge.
Hell fucking yeah.
I'm very excited about that. If it's anything like what I saw this summer, you're going to love it. That I really liked. I loved times a million MJF and Chris Jericho in the same ring promoing together. It's so cool to see MJF. He's so young and he's just like holding his own, no problem, next to Chris Jericho. That was so cool. And they had some great insults back and forth and, about the whole inner circle thing, and that was dope. And Wardlow's finally here. And yeah, it was a solid show. It wasn't my favorite show, but it was a solid show, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a storytelling show, and I really like that because now we're starting to get this building here, and I'm into that because we need to start providing some backstory, some storytelling, some character work, which is dope. I love that.
Mort, you can go.
I liked that the Jon Moxley challenge, as well as the Darby Allin being the one to accept it. I love this series of matches with Hangman and Pac, and I just don't like the 50-50 booking, honestly. because it's the same shit we get in WWE. It's like, if you want to push one of the guys, go ahead and push one of the guys. And I'm really intrigued to see what they do with Scorpio Sky being the first guy to pin Chris Jericho in AEW. How about you, Pops?
Well, for those of you that listened last week and heard Queen and I go at it over the tag team division, and then you tuned in on Tuesday, I hope, to listen to Convos with Pops, you heard a very good conversation with Queen talking me down about my frustrations with AEW, and she basically said, look, we're going into the pay-per-view. It's what happens after is what's important. Kind of, quoting her. Not so much, but...
Paraphrasing. You're paraphrasing.
Yeah, there we go. So what I will say, on record and on air, that other than episode 3, this was the most well-written, flowing show that they have put on. I mean, what can I say? They're now, to be fair, when we get to the low points, I have some low points because there's just some shit. Okay, right?
Of course you do.
But no.
Okay, it's okay. I'm going to enjoy this moment. Don't ruin it. Keep going.
Well, let me be honest, okay? Because when I watched the show yesterday, when today was tomorrow, it was a little too much day for me. So, Jon Moxley is absolutely not human at all. They show a package with Kenny Omega torn the fuck up, right? He's got a black eye because he face planted on some wood in the ring. His back is all torn up from the barbed wire that they both fell in back first, by the way. But Moxley has nothing. Like, they showed his back. There's nothing wrong with that man's back.
He's
what the...
AEW Terminator.
Like, oh my God. And I was like, hell yeah, you're damn right. Ain't nobody going to freaking come out and challenge your ass. Right? Because why the fuck would you? That guy's, he's just legit crazy. I can't even. I'm not even going to, look, Marco's tiny, right? But he can do some big dude shit. And the guys are working with them. So, whatever. Let's get off the Marco's tiny is bullshit, whatever. It's nothing to even argue about anymore. Do I find him entertaining? I didn't. I mean, I thought he was pretty entertaining this week. But whatever. But Darby motherfucking Allin is one crazy motherfucker to accept that challenge.
Yep.
Because I think what we saw with Queen from Northeastern Wrestling, right?
Northeast
Wrestling, sorry.
Okay.
Was like minuscule as to what they're going to do next week. And it's almost scary to me. He's a gamer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I love the whole show. So like a lot of it was my high. Like Page versus Pac was pretty cool. Jericho and Guevara versus SCU was cool. I mean, like the whole show flowed, and it made sense. It wasn't one thing too heavy. I think they did a brilliant thing, and they added some a legit in-ring promo. They added some backstage shenanigans. Like they were like, oh, you know what? We're missing the one thing that made WCW really cool, and that was backstage shenanigans that made sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. And I don't mean to compare them to WCW, but they take a lot from history. So, I thought the whole damn show from start to finish. Dude, I even loved seeing Danny Jordan, even though she got destroyed. I mean, she's a gamer. She's somebody that people need to watch. And unfortunately, she was squashed, but she still got some licks in on Nyla, which made me think that somebody had some confidence. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Yeah, I mean, what is it? Like the Twilight Zone?
It is. It's a weird episode tonight, but you know what? I'm loving it. And speaking of weird and a little, out of this world, a whole new world, in fact, because next week on AEW Dark, my friends, we're getting to see the one and only alien herself, Chris Statlander, tagging with Big Swole.
Spare me your lies, Temptress. That is not
can't.
true.
You
Is
sit
that
on
true?
a throne of lies. It's true. It's
What?
true.
Hashtag
It's damn true.
Mind
Hashtag
blown. This is still 2019. Golly.
So that's happening. So after, of course, it went off the air. Of course, they do their dark matches, Riho, whatever, and then freaking Big Swole comes out, and Kat Statlander comes out, and everybody loses their shit because them dirt sheet reporters, honey, reported that she was headed somewhere a lot, shinier and bigger. Mm-hmm. And there she was. Oh, Lord Jesus. If you don't know who Chris Statlander is, honey, do yourself a favor. From me to you, it is my gift. Go watch her matches. You're going to be blown away. Blown away. Like the colors of the wind blown away. That's what I'm saying. Did I get you? He's laughing over there. Ah! I popped pops.
All right.
Okay, sorry. Had to throw that in there because it's big news.
Before we get to the lows for AEW, I have to give a shout out to my buddy Daryl, who lives in Florida. He tuned into AEW this week, and he used to be a big-time wrestling fan like the three of us. Kind of fell out of it after CM Punk dipped on us. And I think he's going to be an AEW fan from now on because he told me, him and I were texting back and forth last night, and he really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. What we're here for. We're here to create AEW fans, right? Yeah.
Look what I did, guys. No, I did that. What? I'm taking all the fucking credit. You're welcome. We
are here to bring people a platform where they can say, you know what, I'm going to turn on that. I'm going to go to powerslam.tv. I'm going to put in that promo code when I find a PC at home.
DYWTSB.
Right. Thank you for somebody helping me out with that. I mean,
I was typing. I was virtually typing.
Well, they can't see you.
Mort can.
Like Queen. Like John Cena. Can't see me.
Sure.
Oh, anyway. Shout out to Daryl. Hope you're listening.
That's awesome.
All right, and now on to the lows of AEW.
Awesome Kong cutting hair has got to stop.
What the fuck is that about?
I know it's some voodoo shit, some witch shit.
Explain it, please.
So I know it's some voodoo stuff, right? You take someone's hair, you could cast a spell on them and shit. Like, dope, but no. Also, like, if you're going to be a monster, be a monster. Like a real one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, throw some bitches down so they don't get back up. You know what I'm saying? And thirdly, and finally, hashtag wrestling fashion. Brandy Rhodes, boo-boo, honey. Why are you coming down in this leotard dress outfit for a 30-second spot and taking off your fucking skirt? I know it's the littlest, stupidest thing, but it pisses me off. What is the point of that? Just don't wear the fucking skirt. I can't. She drives me crazy. That was one low. The second low is we got a women's match, which was a squash match. At least Nyla, they're starting her rebuild, right? She had a squash match on AEW Dark that they released on Friday before the pay-per-view. She got a squash match now. They're trying to rebuild her a little bit. Okay, whatever, cool. But then we had the Allie and the Awesome Kong and Brandy. We saw 5 women, and only 2 of them were in an actual match. And then the rest of the women were on AEW Dark. Get it together. Mort?
We're all in this together.
Okay, Wildcat.
My low was the momentary threat of Peter Avalon versus Shawn Spears in a singles match. Thankfully, it ended up being a triple threat with Darby Allin. The one bad comment that my buddy texted me is like, who the fuck is this Undertaker bootleg? In reference to Shawn Spears, the way he came out.
Oh, with the hood
thing? Yeah.
I think that's a cool ass entrance. Just sitting on the chair all by himself.
It'd be dope if he was cool in the ring too, but he's fucking snooze fest like WWE.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so let me ask you that since you said that out loud. Is it WWE's fault or was it his fault that he was
It's his fault.
WWE?
Well, I mean, it's both, right?
Right.
But now you have good creative, and you took a chair to Cody Rhodes' head,
And then did
and
nothing.
now love it. So
Oh.
not about. And you're with. I can't.
Right.
And you're with Blanchard. You are with Tully Blanchard, the one of the 4 horsemen. Are you kidding me?
Fucking do something.
First of all, they need to fix that story because why is Tully there with that dude? Fucking no. Get it together. Okay, sorry. I interrupted you. I didn't mean to, but that got me hot. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's just for me, the story that they were telling with Sammy and Jericho being undefeated as a tag team, I almost kind of wish they had won the titles, but I understand why they didn't, which is why one of my highs was where they go with Scorpio Sky being the first to pin Jericho. It just I honestly would have loved to see Sammy being a braggart with the title and Jericho more of an arrogant jackass.
Well, before I get into my lows, I was sitting, I was thinking because everybody knows how big of a I don't even say mark, but I'm a huge Darby Allin mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you remember when you're in kindergarten how you'd meet a kid and you know nothing about them, and then like 10 seconds later you're like playing like your friends?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel when I'm watching Darby Allin, man.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm watching like one of my buddies, like just go out there and just rip shit up.
Do you feel like you're home?
I feel like I'm home when I
Me
watch
too.
Darby Allin. Really do. Hey, Mort,
Look at
speaking
him.
of home,
And I'm home.
Mort, I have a gift for you before I go into my lows, or do you want me to wait until after my lows?
Go ahead.
Well, if you're not going to be happy about the gift, then I'm not going to give it to you. I'm just going to go to my lows. Okay, so we already mentioned the whole Kong and Brandy Rhodes bullshit, so I'm not going to stick too much on that. But what is the fucking problem? Why am I getting flipped off? Did I miss something? I was going to give you a gift, but you didn't care about it, so I'm going into my lows, right?
How do you want me to react? We fucking break chops all the goddamn time. So my passive whatever was me being Mort.
You're mad. I'm still going to give you the gift, bro. Just going to have to wait a few more seconds. I'm going to give you the gift. I promise. Giving you the gift.
So,
but right now, I'm going to ask you both a question.
but we know Mort's
This
super
is
monotone
my-
all the time. So I don't know
That's
what the hell
great.
you expected.
Do you want the gift now? Like, I feel like he wants the gift.
Well, my thing is...
Round 2.
You
Fight.
You bitched because I was monotone. I'm always monotone.
I didn't bitch because you're a monotone.
You bitched at my whatever response. That's normal Mort.
I mean, are you that way when Santa brings you presents too? You're like, whatever.
Well, we know who's on the naughty list. Me.
I like half
Anyway.
the producer here. So, but anyway, like, I'll give you the gift. Just I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna let you think about what I might give you. But I have a question because this is my low for the whole night. What is their obsession with hanging people?
No clue.
I don't
They
like
did it on the pay-per-view, and they did it now.
Yep.
It's twice.
They've done the hanging thing more than that.
When?
I don't know. I will go back in the history of AEW and I'll say how many people.
I'm sorry. Jesus.
Well, either way. So even if they did it at the pay-per-view and then on
I'm just saying, you're calling it an obsession. I just wanted to make sure. I thought I missed something.
like, did Cody see like Mox get hung by a chain? You're like, fucking somebody needs to hang me by a tie because that's a cool spot. No, it's not. You could kill a motherfucker. People hang themselves every day. Maybe it's not an obsession. What's a
I
good...
just wanted to say, I must have missed something.
We're not supposed to be fighting. I'm fighting
I'm
with the
not.
other
You're
guy.
being obtained. Stop it.
I want to give him a message and a gift. I want to
my
tell
God.
him that I want him to open up the internet, and I want him to look over the whole landscape of the internet. I want him to know that he can have all the independent pro wrestling that he can see. It's all his.
All of that is yours
It's all yours.
for the low, low price of free with our code.
$3.99.
DYWTSB on
For 30
PowerSlam.tv
days. 30 days.
for 30 days.
Right. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you subscribe to the WWE Network this month, you're going to get... oh, wait, they're not a sponsor this week either. Never mind, they're a sponsor on Convos.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yes, I do. Mustafa Ali has his name back.
Thank fucking God.
Mufasa! Mufasa Ali!
Say it again.
Mufasa!
No, Mustafa. Dude, so dope. I'm so glad. Mort, how long have we been bitching about them chopping names?
Fucking months.
We gotta
Right?
win, buddy.
About fucking time.
We gotta win. That's my closing thought. And also, I just want to say thank you to Colin from Synergy for joining us. What a dope dude. You guys got to check out that promotion. Big, big, big time. And get to that show. If you were in the area, get to that show. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're not in the area, Fight TV $9.99. Perfect. Just saying.
Mr. Mort.
I close out the show. It's your closing thought there, boss.
All right, I have two closing thoughts. One, I want to thank the Midwest Sports Network, as always, for keeping us on. And number two, I'm going to close up by saying, WWE fans, you're fickle, and you need to get in touch with some reality, because for 5 years y'all been chanting CM Punk, CM Punk, right. CM Punk, and then the man comes back, maybe in a different role, and maybe in a different way that you want, but you're calling him a fucking sellout? Come on now, be better. Do better.
Should have listened to his speech at StarCast, which Pops and I were at, where he said he'd answer the phone. I'm just saying.
Listen, Hakuna Matata. That's all I'm going to say.
What a wonderful phrase.
My closing thought is, I don't care what context CM Punk is back. I'm just glad the fucker's back on my TV. Talk to you all next week.